Did you travel over the summer? How was it? Take any road trips? Did you sit in the passenger side of your best friend's ride just hollering at all the fellas? Well, if you did, I hope you didn't take any of these routes. I'm Taylor McWaters, and here are the top 10 haunted roads that lead right to the underworld. Number 10, the Dark Hedges. If you've been rewatching Game of Thrones recently, like I have, this first one here should ring a bell. The Dark Hedges, first of all, we love the name, real grim, makes me ask a few questions right off the hop. It's located near the town of Ballymoney in Northern Ireland. Now the beech trees line up alongside the narrow half-kilometer road. A common sighting has taken place at the Dark Hedges. The sighting of one gray lady. Yeah, nice phantom woman. We love those when they appear while you're driving 10 and 2. The Stewart family planted these seeds back in 1775, so perhaps this ghost is somebody who was buried there at the same time. That's my personal guess. Because I can't imagine this land and how much nicer it probably looked back in the 1700s, I can't imagine it not being used for ceremonial purposes. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense when you look at the Dark Hedges that it's completely haunted. I totally believe this road is one of the most top 10 haunted in the world. It's so Tim Burton. Salem Road. Okay, this video shows a couple guys driving in a truck down a road in what looks like a very rural area. There's no actual location confirmed in this video, so sleep in fear. Could be right around the corner of where you live. They're just dudes being dudes, hanging out, driving late at night until they come across a woman, classic, dressed in the classic white apparel. Yeah, walking down the middle of the road, check it out. They're obviously really confused by what she's doing is walking down the middle of the road, and she seems to be unbothered by the fact that there's, a truck driving up behind her. They stop the truck and one of them gets out to go and check on her, and then this happens. The guys continue to freak out, telling them to get out of there, then the other guys don't believe them until they realize out of nowhere that this lady is now all of a sudden in front of their truck. It's honestly like a little mini horror film, this one here. I'm not sure who these guys are or what this lady is or what happened, but that's why I threw it in, because I had to see that shit last night, and I'm like, well, now so do you. Number 8, the Screaming Tunnel. This next one here is in Ontario, Canada, which may or may not be where we are right now. So scared. Maybe I'll check it out on my lunch break, who knows. The Screaming Tunnel. First of all, that name is great. We love those names. That's how you do it. Get right to the punch. There's a few stories behind this one, like most of these, but one version is haunting, and this story sticks with me. If you came out of a tunnel and saw a farmhouse, you wouldn't think anything of it. But the story behind this specific farmhouse is haunting, and as well as the tunnel that leads to it. Near the south entrance, the farmhouse back in the day caught fire, and a woman apparently ran out of the house. She was totally freaked out, obviously, by what's happening. And to this day, we can still hear her screaming echo throughout the tunnel. Number 7, St. Patrick's Purgatory. This one comes all the way from the 15th century. It's been referred to as the entrance to hell, so yeah, buckle up, there you go. St. Patrick's Purgatory is located on Ireland's Station Island, and the tale goes as such. St. Patrick was getting frustrated with his followers. Again, this is way back in the day. They were doubting him until, Jesus himself appeared before him and then guided him to a cave on Station Island. Inside of this cave, there was a pit which was said to be the gateway to Purgatory, and they called it Satan's Pit. Again, right to the point. We love that. Now this is apparently where souls go to endure punishments for their sins before being able to enter heaven. All right, gotta go do a little dirty work, a little bit of community service before you go up and have some cosmic cocktails. I don't know. From the 12th century on, the island has attracted those who want to get a closer glimpse of, Purgatory, but also in 1632 it was officially closed off to the public, and most of the records of pilgrimages that had taken place prior were destroyed, so history was hidden on purpose. Okay, fine, keep your secrets, but we'll find them. I'll sniff them out. To this day, believers will still travel to the island and participate in a 3-day contemplation of the nature of hell. That's cool. Hey, what are you doing next weekend? I'm actually busy, I'm going to the island. The Toronto Island? No, you gotta think about hell for a bit. Number 6, Moonville Tunnel. About 30 minutes away from the castle in the woods of Vinton County, Ohio, we have this haunted road from the late 1800s. Now, the legend has it, if you walk through this tunnel, you'll hear the cries from a railroad brakeman who lost his life after being struck by, you guessed it, a train. Pretty sad, pretty grim history. Apparently this tunnel has taken more than just one life as well. It was sadly quite common for pedestrians to attempt to walk through it, thinking that it was a shortcut, only to meet an oncoming train halfway through, and of course they have no way to get out at that point. Another account says that if you turn your car off inside this tunnel and sit there, you'll hear the cries of those lost in the tunnel. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Also, keep your car away from the train tracks. Have we seen any movie ever? Don't do that. Even the train track in Mario 64 where you're trying to take that shortcut, I wouldn't even go down that tunnel. That's too scary. Number 5, Tapir Mountain, Belize. Home with the Crystal Maiden Sacrifice. Awesome, sounds comforting already. The Mayans believed that the entrance to their underworld, Xibalba, was located in these cave networks. The name of the cave, Octun Tunichil Mukno, discovered in 1989, translates to Cave of the Crystal Sepulchre, and the nature reserve has already had its fair share of dark stories surrounding it. There were once rivers of blood and scorpions flowing through it, which is literally the worst combo I can think of, personally. The site has been described as a subterranean labyrinth overseen by the Mayan death gods, the lords of said Xibalba. Obviously, explorers love this place. Even me talking about it, I'm like, can we go there? Is this on our budget? Let's do this. And let's be real, even me mentioning Mayan death gods to you, you're probably like, how much is an Uber? I don't know, maybe we'll check out some flights to this Xibalba. Number 4, Mount Hekla. Mount Hekla is a stratovolcano located in South Iceland, so maybe not. Let's not go to this one ever, actually. A stratovolcano. This is an extremely active volcano site, which of course has something to do with people believing that this is the front doors to hell. I mean, to be fair, it feels like it, right? It definitely physically feels like it, and it looks like it. There's an Anglo-Norman poem called The Voyage of Saint Brennan, and in it, it mentions that this volcano is the prison of Judas, the apostle who famously betrayed Jesus. And to add to this apocalyptic image already that you're creating in your head, these firebirds flying around the volcano were once thought to be lost souls. Yeah, or birds that caught on fire because the air is so hot. One of the two, both pretty horrible. It was believed that the volcano was the hot hangout as well for witches who were trying to slide into the devil's DM. Yeah, a lot of cult meetings, what happened at this location. All these legends combined, yeah, it totally makes sense why people would think some sort of dark and evil power lurks inside of the volcano, especially considering it's one of the most active volcanoes in Iceland. In fact, in the world. Number 3, Mayan Underworld. Okay, moving back over to the ancient Maya, a lot of good stuff there. Back in 2003 in Mexico, archaeologist Sergio Gomez arrived to work. The beautiful Mayan serpent pyramid, right? Imagine working here. I worked at a movie theater and I was like, nice, this place rocks. This guy works at a serpent pyramid. He's like, yeah? See ya. And out of nowhere, a sinkhole just appeared overnight, right? This was alarming. It was super close to the actual pyramid, so Sergio covered it with a tent quickly, obviously not knowing where to begin with the stressful situation at one of the most historical sites on the planet. Well, what he found that day was hiding underneath him his entire career. He got a few coworkers to lower him into the fresh sinkhole, so right off the bat, this guy deserves a raise or two. He was lowered into this tunnel, and this tunnel was purposely blocked off 2,000 years ago. The tunnel connected the Serpent Pyramid to the Temple of the Moon and to the Temple of the Sun, so it's a hot shortcut, not gonna lie. Now, it's one thing to discover secret tunnels and pyramid entrances your entire life, but to fall down another layer of secrets almost 30 years later, it's almost like life's making him not quit. He's like, yeah, 30 years, I think I'm done here. What? Number 2, the Devil Sinkhole. Yeah, we're on the topic of sinkholes. We made it. We're going down a weird rabbit hole here. I love it. The Devil Sinkhole, great name. Already looking forward to this one. Located in Rock Springs, Texas. We can find this massive 50 feet wide and 400 feet deep hole. Yeah, it's really big. I'm gonna say that this is legally a road or a tunnel because it goes places. Residents first discovered the sinkhole in 1876, and ever since then, arrowheads have been discovered, burnt rocks, signs of life spanning back hundreds and hundreds of years. So yeah, it's a deep, old tunnel that just created itself, which is so scary. Thanks, Earth. These discoveries have led people to believe that it may have once been used as some sort of burial ground, or perhaps even a place of sacrifice. People would crawl in here, sacrifice somebody, and then crawl back out. Wild, that's so scary. Some tunnels are full of ancient artwork as well, spanning back to the beginning of, I don't know, humanity. Others just have bones and bats in them, so it really depends which route you take. It's a nice little gamble. Bones, bats,
Battlestar Galactica,
or treasure. You're like, Residents will often gather in the evening and if they're lucky, see around 3 million bats emerge from said sinkhole and hunt food. So yeah, I can say this is a road to hell for sure. That many bats flying out? Or Bruce Wayne owns it, one of the two. And finally, number 1, the Paris Catacombs. What feels like a never-ending maze. These tunnels under Paris stretch for hundreds of miles. And they're also absolutely terrifying. There have been movies on these catacombs. As Above, So Below is terrifying. See, originally these tunnels were built for Paris stone mines, but near the end of the 18th century, its purpose started to shift. Cemeteries were starting to pile up because of, said plagues. Literally, they weren't as good as getting rid of bodies in clean ways, so the dead was just piling up, bodies on top of another. So they were handling them like they would handle garbage, just out of sight, out of mind, right? So the solution here was to use these catacombs that were already existing, right? These tunnels have been there for centuries, so you might as well put them to good use. Those are the top 10 haunted roads that lead to the underworld. I've been your host, Taylor McWaters. Keep being you, and we'll see you next time on Bumblebee. Peace.